everybody. Welcome to another episode of Black Society's Healing Hotspot. I'm your host, Najee Talley, and today's episode we're going to be talking about how you can stop overthinking. Before I begin this video, I just want to say thank you all for your support, your love, and interactions along with responses whenever we reach out to the audience. And hopes of putting some together for the next episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on all platforms. All episodes are posted on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can check us out once again every Friday, sometimes Saturday. My bad, depends. It's been recently on Saturdays, but I'm gonna be consistent this year, as I've stated, on Fridays at 11 a.m. Thank you all for your support, and be sure to tune in to the rest of the episode. From personal experiences, I wanted to make sure that overthinking is brought up today in today's episode because as a college student and a young adult, we are trying to figure out where we're going and what's the next step to do in our lives. And a lot of people can relate to overthinking a lot. I'm here to tell you that it's completely normal, it's natural, everybody does it. And sometimes when you overthink, you're going to have a hard time trying to explain that to people, or people can misunderstand you because of you overthinking. These 6 different steps I've used personally to relieve myself from overthinking as much, to calm myself down in moments when I'm feeling very anxious and nervous or overly excited about things. All of these steps have helped me to lower my overthinking. The first step would be to identify and challenge the problem. By this, I mean when you're overthinking and try to explain what you're thinking about, you start off with the main reason, of course, of what you're overthinking about. And then you start to drift off into 12 different topics. So a lot of people will be very confused, or when you try to express what you're thinking about out loud and you confuse yourself. Not gonna put myself out there, but I've done that before, and I'm sure you have. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. No. But identifying exactly what you're worrying about kind of dices down the overthinking. Revert back to your main point. And when overthinking, challenge those negative thoughts. The what ifs, the could-haves and should-haves and would-haves. Mark it all out. It's about what you're doing in the present and what you've accomplished so far. Each negative thought that you have, I would recommend that you challenge it with a positive thought or a self-affirmation of yourself. You can go through all your accomplishments and talk about those. You can think about what you're doing in the present that is not something that you once were in the past. All of those are very important. Even if you do not think as much, of, oh, well, back then I was fat. Well, not saying me, I'm just giving an example. But back then you may have been, not the shape or in fit that you wanted to be. And now you're in the gym consistently. That's an accomplishment that you can be proud of. This step may not be as easy because, of course, you're trying to go through each of your thoughts and limit down to getting back to the main point of what's making you worry and overthink. It's definitely not easy because you've already thought of so many what ifs to the point where you forgot what is the main reason to why I'm saying what if, But I feel as if this step is challenging, but however, once it's added to your routine, then you'll start to realize and normalize that it is okay for me to do this, but I'm coping with overthinking. This is a big first step, but it's possible to accomplish, and I'm here to tell you you got this. The second step is what I mentioned a little bit in the first one, where you have to stay in the present. The what ifs are in the future. The I could or I should, that's all in the future. And as I've been told numerous times, I cannot control my future. and no one can control their future. Well, you can by doing what you can in the present, but however, is unpredictable is a better way of saying that. We cannot predict the future at all. You can try as much as you can, but it's only so far that you can go. So why give yourself the trouble by trying to think so much about the future when you can control the future by focusing on what's in the present? Focus not on your past, because it's in history now. You can't change what happened, but it's all about what you're doing at this very moment. At this time when you're watching this video, what are you doing now that you know will be beneficial for you in the future? The third step would be to set a time limit of how long you can worry. I personally try to give myself maybe no more than 10-15 minutes to worry, where I sit there and just try and think of so many what ifs and try and make plans and etc. etc. I don't let myself dwell in my worry for so long, because that's not helping me, limit my overthinking. By letting so much time pass, that's letting my overthinking expand, and that makes your anxious levels, your anxiety flare up really bad. Just limit that all around by giving yourself a certain, a limited time to worry about these things. I say 10 to 15 minutes because it lets me identify and address exactly what I'm worrying about and what I need to prioritize and what I don't need to prioritize. After you're done worrying, then you take that time out and go do something else. By dwelling in your worry, it doesn't help your current state of mind. So once you finish setting your time limit for how long you can worry, then move past it. You'll come back to that time at another day. But you set your time for what you worried about in that day, and then you go on to, which is the next step of distractions or being productive in something else. This is where hobbies come into play, or, doing something that you're interested in, maybe doing something brand new that could spike a new interest, or just getting out your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone, which means getting out of your head sometimes and trying something new. Of course, I advise that I want this to be healthy outputs, healthy outlets. Something that is not going to hurt you in any type of way in the long term or in that moment now. Like, for example, today, talking about myself again, I set my time to worry, which was, this time I didn't worry as much today. I set it for 8 minutes. 8 minutes to worry because, like everybody this week, or maybe earlier the week before, the spring semester has started, maybe some people later, but VCU is currently going to their spring semester tomorrow. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we didn't start today. Also, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, even though this video will be posted Friday. But after I set that time limit of worrying for 8 minutes, I woke myself up, got out of bed, made sure I, maybe played music to distract myself from my head, and went to the gym and indulged in some physical activity. And even if you're not able to indulge in different activities, sitting there and taking the time to practice breathing techniques, which is the last step, is very important. Well, the breathing techniques is before indulging in the activity, but if you're not able to indulge in the physical, wow, oh my God, I cannot talk. I'm so sorry. If you cannot indulge in physical activity or go anywhere at that time of being due to certain circumstances, oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all, I cannot talk today. That is when you apply breathing techniques. Personally, for me, some people do 10-10-10 or 30-30-30. Don't want to make yourself pass out, but however, you inhale for a certain amount of time, you hold a certain amount of time, and release after a certain amount of time. Personally, I like to do either 5 or 10 seconds. Something that gives you, lowers. I really genuinely cannot talk today. After indulging in physical activity earlier today, I just laid in the bed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be so honest on this video today. Please bear with me. Everybody has slow days, and then everybody has hyper days. I do not have the proper energy right now, but however, I am motivated to continue to give y'all the content that y'all need that will benefit y'all and help y'all's mental health, including my own. Now, reverting back to the topic that I was trying to say, breathing techniques are very healthy, and I've probably repeated it numerous times in other videos, but even though it might seem dumb, it's actually very helpful. Well, it doesn't seem dumb to me, but usually when you tell other people like, oh, you just need to breathe, they're not going to understand that. Personally, for me, breathing techniques are very useful, and with overthinking, sometimes it can lead to panic attacks if you are severely overthinking and building up anxiousness to the point where about to have a panic or an anxiety attack, and you're just about to separate yourself from the world by going so deep into your mind. Breathing helps. It allows you to calm yourself down and rethink things before you do something that you're not supposed to, or etc., etc. Those are all the steps that I have for you today, and I hope that this was helpful. And if any way, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, or follow us on all platforms. If you can relate or can think of another step that also relays on, stopping overthinking, then definitely reach out, comment, tell us about it, and get back to us on our accounts. Overall, we're just trying to limit overthinking and improve our mental health. So thank you all for tuning in and staying tuned. Be sure to check out our previous content. Once again, I truly appreciate you all for tuning in on today's episode. As you can see, the quality is definitely getting better. And if you have any tips about that too, I'd be willing to listen. But thanks again, and I love you all. Have a great day.